2B. Just taste it. Just go ahead and try this food. You might like it. 1. Reading. A. Discuss. What's your favorite dish and what's in it? Dishes like pizza, kabsa, lasagna. These are dishes. What is the dish that you like the most? What's in it? What are the ingredients? What do you need to prepare this food? My favorite is pizza, believe it or not. Even though it's unhealthy, it is my favorite. Not only because it tastes good, not because of its popularity, but I believe this has a lot to do with my favorite childhood cartoon characters, Ninja Turtles. I grew up watching the turtles eating pizza in the sewers, and I believe this had a huge impact on me and many other kids that time. What's in it? A flat base of dough, which is made of flour and water, tomato sauce, and mozzarella cheese. Would you ever eat the things shown in the pictures? Think, you, in your lifetime, would you, in the future, eat this or that? If you had to, if you must, in which order would you try them? Which one would you eat first? Well, if you ask me the same question, well, I have never tried any of these in my life. Would I try them? Well, I would try some of them. The ones that look familiar, like this. This looks like watermelon. These look like pineapples. These look like mangoes, so I would try them first. Some of them look yuck, and I would never try them. So, I would try them in this order: jackfruit, pitaya, durian, dragon fruit, custard apple, kiwano, and seaweed. I put the things that look repulsive, I put them last. What about you? Would you try them? Which ones would you try first? B. Read the story and choose the best title, A, B, or C. Before we read the titles with me. A. The market in Singapore. Singapore is a country in Asia like Saudi Arabia. B. A strange fruit, a very unusual fruit. C. Afraid of new experiences. You are scared of new things, things that you have never tried. Will you take a look at that? Look how many words I've marked as new words. A lot. You need to keep up. Today we have a lot of new words. Let's listen to the story first.
A few years ago, I was working in Singapore. During my first week there, while I was travelling on the underground, I saw a strange sign saying, "No durians," with a picture of a crossed-out fruit. I wondered why they were forbidden. It wasn't until later that I found out that they smell really, really bad, but they're very tasty and healthy. For this reason, many people in Southeast Asia eat them. I was very curious and decided to try for myself. As I was walking through a marketplace, a very strong smell hit me. It smelt like someone had left some onions and other vegetables to rot. However, I realized that I was standing next to a stall selling durians. "I'd like to try a bit of durian," I told the merchant, and he said with a smile, "At your own risk." He then took a durian from a box, cut it in half with a large knife, and then cut a piece of the fruit. When he handed it to me, I started having second thoughts. What does it taste like, I wondered. As I was raising the fruit to my lips, I suddenly felt sick and a bit dizzy, but I began to eat. The durian was thick and creamy like butter and had a fresh and sweet taste. As soon as I finished eating the piece, the merchant offered me some more. I actually finished the entire fruit. The man looked at me for a response. "Yummy! That was tasty," I said. so the merchant put 3 in a bag for me to take home. Unfortunately, I had to walk all the way because I wasn't allowed on the underground.
Now read with me. A few years ago, I was working in Singapore. During my first week there, while I was traveling on the underground, underground is a train that moves through the tunnels. I saw a strange sign, like a road sign. The sign was saying, "No durians," with a picture of a crossed out fruit. This is a fruit. The fruit is crossed out, means it's not allowed. You can't eat it or have it on the underground. I asked myself, why they were forbidden, why they were not allowed. It wasn't until later that I found out that I knew that they smell really, really bad. It wasn't until later means I didn't know the answer until I found out that they smell very bad. They smell terrible, but they are very tasty. The taste is very good and healthy, good for your health. For this reason, this is why many people in Southeast Asia, this is Asia, very big continent. South is right here. This is South. This is Southeast. Vietnam, Philippines, Taiwan. This is Southeast. Eat them. I was very curious. I really, really wanted to know and decided to try for myself, to taste these durians. As I was walking through a marketplace, a very strong smell, a powerful smell, hit me. How did it hit him? He just smelled it. I smelled a very strong smell. This is the meaning. It smelled like someone. Smelt is the past of smell. It smelled like someone had left. Left is the past of leave. Someone just put some onions and other vegetables to rot, to turn bad. After you leave vegetables or any kind of food out of the fridge for a very long time, they will turn bad, they will rot. However, I knew that I was standing next to a stall. A stall is like a small shop, like in the picture. This is the marketplace, and all these are stalls. They sell stuff in these stalls. I was standing next to a stall selling durians. I'd like to try a little of durian, I told the merchant. Merchant is the one selling these durians, and he said with a smile, "At your own risk. You take full responsibility for trying them. I will not be held responsible." He said this as a joke. He then took a durian from a box, cut it in half with a large knife, and then cut a piece, a small part of the fruit. When he gave it to me, I started having second thoughts. I started asking myself if I was doing the correct thing. Maybe I was doing a stupid thing. What does it taste like? I wondered. I asked myself. As I was raising the fruit, as I was moving it upwards to my lips, these are my lips, I suddenly felt sick. Felt is the past of feel. And a bit dizzy, like I was losing balance, like I was going to fall. But I began is the past of begin. I started to eat. The durian was thick, not thin, and creamy, like cream, like butter. This is butter. And had a fresh and sweet taste. Fresh, it had a pleasant and cool taste. And sweet, tastes like sugar. As soon as once I finished eating the piece, the merchant offered me, he served me some more. I actually finished the entire fruit, the whole fruit. The man looked at me for a response. He wanted me to say something, to give him a feedback. Yummy, I said. That was tasty. The taste is amazing, I said. So the merchant put 3 in a bag. A plastic bag or a paper bag, not the bag you take to school. He put 3 in a bag for me to take home. Unfortunately, I had to walk all the way. I didn't take the underground because I wasn't allowed. It was forbidden. Durians are not allowed, forbidden on the underground. Now, let's choose the best title. The market in Singapore. Is this about markets in Singapore? No. A strange fruit. Unusual fruit. Okay, this could be a good title. See, afraid of new experiences, even though he was having second thoughts, but no, he wasn't afraid and he tried the fruit. So yes, B is the best title. A strange fruit. Smells bad, tastes very good. C. Read again and write T for true or F for false or NM for not mentioned if you find nothing to prove this statement in the story we have just read. 1. The writer, the one telling us this story, saw durians in an advertisement. An advertisement is a picture with words or a short video intended to persuade people to buy a product. For the first time. That is not true. That is false. Why? Well, he saw a sign, a strange sign, saying no durians. It wasn't an ad. It wasn't advertisement. It was a sign. 2. In Singapore, they sell durians only in markets. It's not mentioned. We don't know if it's only in markets or if they are sold in big stores. 3. The writer thought the strong smell was rotten food. When he smelled durians, he thought, he was thinking that the smell was of rotten food. Yes, that is correct. It smelled like someone had left some onions and some other vegetables to rot, and then he realized. Later he knew that he was standing next to a stall selling durians. But first he didn't know. 4. The writer cut the durian, then ate a piece? No. The merchant cut the durians. The merchant took a durian from a box, he cut it in half. 5. The merchant served the fruit. He offered the fruit with some cream and butter. That is false. Well, the fruit was creamy and buttery, but the merchant didn't serve anything with the fruit. 6. The writer enjoyed the durian and wanted some more. It is true. He said, yummy in the end. That was tasty. And he actually finished the entire fruit, the whole fruit. A complete one like this. D. Look at the highlighted words in the text and match them with their meanings A to E. These are the highlighted words: merchant, handed, raising, entire, and response. Merchant is the one selling the durians. He handed it to me, he gave it to me. I was raising the fruit, I was moving it upwards towards my lips. I ate the entire fruit. I ate the whole fruit. The man looked at me for a response. He wanted me to say something, to give a reply. Merchant, a person that sells things. Handed, he gave, raising, moving something upwards. Entire, whole, response, answer. Discuss. What do you think of the writer's experience? Would you do the same thing if you were in a foreign country and you heard about or somebody told you about a fruit or some kind of food that you should try? Would you do the same thing? Well, I don't know. If it was me, well, if the food looks horrible, then I may not try it. If it looks good, then okay, I may try it. Would you ever try durians? Why or why not? Well, yes, I would. Would you? I would. Why? I read that they taste very good. They look okay. They look like pineapples. And they are healthy, nutritious, good for your health. So yes, I would try them. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will leave you now with the workbook exercises. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.
Listen to a man describing a meal he had at a restaurant and answer the questions. Choose A, B, or C.
I fancy going out for dinner tonight. Any ideas?
Well, don't go to Raimondo's in the centre. I went last week.
But it looks like a nice place.
That's what I thought. First of all, it's in the city centre, so I needed 40 minutes to find a parking space, and I even walked for 20 minutes to get to the restaurant. When I finally sat down, I waited about half an hour for a waiter to come.
Not a good start.
It got worse. I was upset, so I was a bit rude to the waiter. I said I was sorry when he brought my order, but he didn't say anything.
How was the food?
Well, it was okay. The lasagna was a big piece and the salad was fresh, but I needed to add a lot of salt on the lasagna to give it some taste. Then I decided to have some dessert. I ordered some chocolate cake, but again the waiter said nothing. He just looked at me and left.
That was strange.
To be honest, I didn't really think it was a problem, but listen to this. He brought the cake, and the next thing I knew, it was all over me.
No. Was it an accident?
I'm not so sure. He said sorry, but I didn't believe him.
What did you do?
I just left some money on the table and ran out.